universal access to clean drinking water, self-disinfecting face masks that kill SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID, paper replacing plastic. These are not visions of the future that we're going to solve with nanoscience. These are physical products that my company manufactures right now. Cost me pennies to make a water purifier that we sell right now in grocery stores throughout Bangladesh, in 1,000 grocery stores. We make antiviral face masks, but specifically we can make enough antiviral face masks for literally everybody on the entire planet, because we industrially manufacture with the machinery of the paper industry. We manufacture in facilities the size of not this room, but the entire conference center. That's the size of paper mills and of paper machinery. So we have this massive scale that we're doing nanoscience at. We're doing nanoscience synthesis using paper machinery the size of this conference. Because every one of these products that I'm showing you, and the last one would be food packaging, every one of these is nanoscience and paper. So these are not grand visions of the future. This is nanoscience right now, solving real global problems with real global solutions right now, that we physically manufacture right now. Plastic, fantastic. Plastic is the wonder material of the 20th century. It's a fabulous material. It's tough, it's strong. You can put food inside of it, you can put medicines inside of it, and they don't get dirty. Plastic's an amazing material from 100 years ago. Now we're all used to this image: plastic pollution, plastic trash. Why do we have this? Plastic doesn't degrade. That was a great benefit 100 years ago, but now with exponential usage, we're using 1,000 or 10,000 times as much of the stuff all around the world. So what are we going to do to replace this? You hear a lot of little, different things in the lab, different things at different scales. We've gone back a century further. The original biopolymer is called a tree. They pull CO2 out of the atmosphere, and they make it into wood. We then take the wood and make it into paper. All trees and all paper products in the United States and Europe are all sustainably grown. Like Christmas tree farms, this is how we grow paper. Sustainable farms that have been managed for 100, 150 years. That's how we source all of our paper sustainably. So how do we let paper compete against that plastic? Well, the plastic is fabulous. It's got all these good benefits functionally. So we need to make the paper better. It has to outperform the plastic in some way. That's where green chemistry comes in. Green chemistry was like the quantum of 20 years ago. Sustainable chemistry. We're going to use plant-based ingredients, food catalysts, food-grade ingredients, and we use that to do our synthesis. We do industrial manufacturing using plant-based ingredients at this giant scale. And the trick is, instead of using poisons, we use all of these benign substances. And sure enough, it's safer, and we can go forward with it. How is that possible? My PhD was in carbon sequestration. How do we take 1 billion tons of CO2 and put it underneath the deep sea? In 2002, I read the IPCC report. It was right there for anybody to read. So 20 years ago, I read the IPCC report. And it told me that in the 90s, they knew that global warming was a problem. It wasn't a secret. So I started working on global warming and problems of global poverty around the world. In 2007, I was at the Montreal Jazz Festival, and there was a pretty girl in a red hooded sweatshirt. And she was asked for her PhD in chemistry, could you make a kind of paper that makes clean drinking water? So my wife, Terry, invented this, accidentally became world famous, and we ended up with a company. And that's the genesis of Folia Materials, my company, with my wife. And so this is how we're able to do this. We've got patented science doing all of this at industrial scale. This is what industrial scale paper rolls look like. They're massive. They're 15 tons, right? They're huge. And so we can treat that kind of product, and so we're part of the consumer goods manufacturing industry, right? We want materials that are already natively part of the supply chains, that already get made into the stuff that you buy in the grocery store, right? We don't want to be a luxury product. We're not going to solve global problems through luxury products. We have to be mass market products that everyone in the world can afford at their regular grocery and go from plastic to paper with these additional benefits. That's how we solve these sustainable development goals. So our water purifier was the initial use case. That was what she became known for. That was what her PhD work was in. Well, it turns out 600 million people have this problem. This is really the problem of civil wars. These are very low-income people. Usually there's some kind of major disruption. Think Somalia, right? We have to donate to UNICEF. You have to support Médecins Sans Frontières. No question. But 3 billion people have incomes, and 2.1 billion people look like this. They have germs in their water, but they buy soap every day. They buy soap, they buy soda, they buy chips, they buy snacks, they buy candy bars. So 3 billion people are buying these things, but they have germs in their water. Why? They're not poverty, right? These are the working class base of the pyramid. So they have incomes, and they shop at stores. What's missing is a water purifier they can afford. You don't donate your way to 3 billion people. You say, let's invent a product that's sold so cheaply at the same price as Coca-Cola, or the same price as soda and chips, that they can buy it themselves. So this is on sale in Bangladesh. There's 1,000 grocery stores selling this product right now. And with me today is the CEO of our subsidiary company, Folia Water Global, Mohammed Rashid, who's a consumer goods expert. Because we use the consumer goods industry, including the brilliant minds in terms of business of that industry, to sell water filters that people in Bangladesh can themselves afford using our nano paper. In 2018, we thought, well, we have this antiviral material, right? We've got antibacterial material. Well, we can make things like face masks. Everybody says there's going to be another pandemic. Everybody says C. diff, MRSA, these scary hospital-borne diseases. But there was no demand. 2020 came around. We made antiviral face masks. And they look about like this in a package. And these are sold in the United Kingdom, right? They're registered, they're approved in the United Kingdom. We're launching an appliance with this material inside with a major Fortune 100 appliances brand in Q1 of 2023. So this is air purification. So I've talked about water, I've talked about air. What's next is food. So single-use plastic packaging, we hear all about this, right? Only one problem, plastic outperforms everything else. You put the food in it, it's aseptic, it gets where it's going. The companies love that because they cannot have a risk that you'll have a health problem when you get their food. So what we do, somebody yesterday described a self-heating pouch. Well, we industrially manufacture that already. It's called a microwave food susceptor. And so our metal catches the microwaves, and we're able to heat up the chicken nuggets. So I've got a PhD in carbon sequestration, and I'm working on chicken nuggets. They sell 1 billion of these a year. Just this one product, 1 billion. So if you want to replace plastic packaging, you go and you work with the companies that make this kind of stuff, because that's how you replace 1 billion units of plastic, right? And it's 100,000 plastic units for one of those pallets, one of those big rolls of paper, right? We can make it by the millions industrially. That's where nanoscience comes in, right? We solve these global problems by doing industrial scale manufacturing using nanoscience at pennies to take the paper and let it outperform plastic. Because sustainability isn't enough. That's the reality. I've been doing this for 20 years, 25 years, okay? That's not enough. Sustainability won't change consumer behavior. It won't change business behavior. You have to give a carrot. And the carrot is that you have to outperform plastic using the kind of functional benefits that we can get from the kind of materials that you see here at these low cost points. And that's how we solve things like the SDGs with things like sustainable paper. Thank you.